The polls are open in New Hampshire for today's first-in-the-nation primary. Some officials predict a record turnout. Hillary Clinton arrived at a polling station in Manchester minutes ago. She is trying to drum up last-minute votes.
The first 9 ballots were cast at midnight in the tiny northern town of Dixville Notch. All 4 Democrats voted for Bernie Sanders. The 5 Republicans went for John Kasich over Donald Trump. 3 votes to 2. John Dickerson, Nancy Cordes, and Major Garrett are all in the Granite State. Major begins our coverage in Bedford, New Hampshire, with what's at stake for the Republicans. Major, good morning.
Good morning. As you can see behind me, voters are lining up in a primary that Donald Trump enters with expectations a burden for him. Not only is Trump favored to win, but the poll suggests his margin of victory should be 10 points or more. If Trump falls short, a narrow victory can start looking like a loss. All of Trump's Republican rivals are vying for the protective political cocoon of a second or third place finish, because viewed from the perspective of future fundraising or media coverage, a distant fourth or worse could be a penniless and pitiless place.
This is sort of our final love fest, all right?
Donald Trump packed Manchester's biggest arena on a snowy primary eve.
If you're going to get hurt and if you're going to drive like a maniac, do it tomorrow after you vote.
And proved he still hasn't mastered the art of presidential decorum, repeating this shouted insult about Iowa winner Ted Cruz.
She said, I never expect to hear that from you again. She said he's a That's terrible. Terrible.
What did Cruz do to deserve this? He sidestepped a question about waterboarding at Saturday's debate.
Honestly, I thought he'd say absolutely, and he didn't. He said, well, it's...
Trump spent much of the day feuding with challenger Jeb Bush, whose $100 million war chest has yet to make a dent.
He's like a child. He's like a spoiled child. Jeb is a lightweight, let me tell you. He's a total stiff, Jeb Bush.
The fight spilled onto Twitter, with Trump calling Jeb pathetic and Bush firing back that Trump is a liar.
Well, he is a whiner, and I'm defending the honor of people that I really respect.
John Kasich, primed for his first close-up of the campaign, is looking to New Hampshire's moderates for a ticket to South Carolina.
We're very confident that we'll be eating gumbo and wearing flip-flops.
Marco Rubio, who's endured criticism for parroting talking points during Saturday's debate, was again caught hitting the repeat button.
And we know how hard it's become to instill our values in our kids instead of the values that try to ram down our throats. In the 21st century, it's become harder than ever to instill in your children the values they teach in our homes and in our church instead of the values that they try to ram down our throats in the movies, in music, in popular culture.
This very busy polling place is in Bedford. Bedford is just south of Manchester, a well-to-do suburb. In 2012, Bedford was Mitt Romney's best city in all of New Hampshire, which means Trump, Jeb Bush, John Kasich, and Marco Rubio should do well here. In fact, Rubio and Bush will be here in a couple of hours to greet voters. And Gail, here's why. Experienced campaigns in this state know that up to 12% of voters in a Republican presidential primary decide who to vote for while standing in line.
Wow, thank you, Major. We should all know tonight how it turns out. Thanks a lot.